Ever since the COVID-19 lockdowns began, many small businesses have struggled to survive, with some going out of business. Chicago, Illinois is no exception to this. Some of those smaller businesses have given me the opportunity to speak with them and cover their businesses. One of those is a local, independent movie theater.
The Music Box is Chicago's year-round film festival, we like to say. We show all sorts of films, independent, foreign films, documentary, classic films, special events, special guests. The Music Box has been around since 1929. We just had a big 90th anniversary celebration back in 2019. Prior to the pandemic, we were open 365 days a year, including having a lot of annual special events like Christmas shows. There was a lot of stuff around Halloween. So we were in the middle of our 70 millimeter film festival back in March 2020. We had just gotten through the first week. More information about COVID started coming out and government mandates started coming out. We were keeping an eye on it internally. And then we got the word that like capacity restrictions were going to change. So we needed to go down to a maximum of 200 people in our 750 seat auditorium. Literally a day or two later, word came down that businesses needed to go down to like 5 or 10%, basically that we needed to close, which we all agreed was the right thing, but it was a very strange few days. We reopened in early July, and we started playing a bunch of classic films on 70 millimeter, which is this extra big film format that very few movie theaters even have the capability to do, with limited capacity, limited show times, more time in between movies for extra cleaning precautions, and then we shut down again in mid-November. So unfortunately it was a case of practice makes perfect, where by the time the second closure came around, we were able to make that decision faster, and we already had several things in place. So that included partnering with different movie distributors and studios to do virtual cinema screenings. So we had a lot of movies that people could buy tickets to watch them online, to-go concessions available for curbside pickup every weekend. And we started partnering with different businesses to do special packages. So, you can pick up popcorn and soda and candy, and then this week it comes with books that benefit Carpe Librum, or this week it comes with bagels to benefit Steingold's Deli, which just opened next door to us. So we had to get creative on a few ways to keep our business going. We were closed for the first several months of the year, but still doing our virtual cinema, doing to-go concessions. We have, again, an auditorium that seats 750 people, and we're only allowing up to 50 people in that room with very strict cleaning procedures, mask mandates, social distancing. But we have a great audience. Everyone's been very respectful and very appreciative. People are mostly just happy that we're open and happy to be back at the movies. For our 70-seat auditorium, we've been renting it out for private rentals, private screenings for small parties of around 10 people or so. I'd be lying if I said any of it was not difficult. Part of it's just been the uncertainty of, closing down and then not knowing when we were going to be able to reopen, what it's going to look like when we reopen. I think when we first shut down, we thought, kind of foolishly assumed when we reopened it would be back to business as usual. But of course that was not the case. So we've kept having to make adjustments in the before times. In pre-2020 there was a lot of thinking on the fly and making changes. And we were able to keep our entire floor staff on payroll through the end of May. We were fortunate that we were coming off of several very good years of the theater, so we had a nice little piggy bank of reserves to pull from. But at the end of May, when it was, we still had no idea when we'd be able to reopen. We were just didn't have enough to keep people on. We have had, bright moments during the pandemic. It's been really great seeing how supportive our audience has been. We've been talking for years about how we wanted to offer a Christmas ornament, but we would always get so busy. We're like, well, we have a little bit of time this year. Let's design an ornament. And we sent an email out about those and they sold out immediately, and so we did another run of those. Been open for a long time, and we have had people who've been coming to us for a long time, and our audience just wants to make sure that we're still around. Hopefully we'll look at this as just sort of a hiccup along the way, but we wouldn't have been able to persevere without the support of a lot of our staff along the way. We are planning at the end of March to reopen for 7 days a week again. So we are hopeful for the future, and we've got plans in place for how we're able to continue moving forward. There's several different ways people can help. Watching a movie on Music Box Direct, to-go concessions from us. Like I said, we are open for limited screenings right now. Main focus used to be just, all right, let's get movies on screen and let's get an audience in to see the movies. And then that got taken away from us by COVID. And so we had to come up with all of these different things that venues we would not have ever gone down. Like we never even had discussions of, hey, we should start playing our movie, making our movies available to watch online instead of at the theater. Or we should, start making packages of concessions that people can, just pick up and take home, making ourselves available to go out to our audience rather than having our audience come to us in our physical building.